So I suggest getting a good router. Now, once you hook these Ethernet cables up, make sure, a lot of times people don't really understand this, but you want to have brand new Ethernet cables, because one time I ran into this problem where I couldn't find out. I had great service, I had everything was great that I had, but in my gameplay for some reason it was bad. I didn't understand because I was killing people and I would watch the kill cam, the bullets weren't hitting them, the wasn't registering. Somewhere I was missing a connectivity in the internet connection, and it found out there was a break in the line inside of the cable of the Ethernet cord. So you definitely want to change out your Ethernet cords, you know, and make sure you have new cables when you start out. So let's go on to the next step. So once you have that set up and you have your Xbox going or your PS3, whatever system you're using, there's a couple ways that you can run this. If you're directly connecting in, that's what I usually do. If I'm serious about a gaming session, I go directly connected from my router or from my modem straight into there. And in that way, I can ensure that I have a good connection when I play. This is winning by the margins. You want to make sure you do this stuff. The next important thing is sound. Here you can see that I'm running the Sony Dream System surround sound. A lot of people use headsets. I'm probably going to move to headsets because of the fact that Turtle Beach has, sent their hardware to directly be programmed by Treyarch this time around. So it's probably imperative to have their specific headsets for that game. So I'll probably get headsets. But there's one important thing you want to realize is that there's a difference. When you're using headsets, you want to have an optical cable, an optical sound cable. And a lot of people won't tell you this, but it's important that you have an optical sound cable. You'll notice it right here. This is what we're talking about. This cord is an optical sound cable. This will give you great sound in your headphones and your surround system. So make sure if you ever look in the back of your streaming that you know that you have to have this particular, not this particular, but you want to have a sound, you want to have optical sound, the best sound you could possibly have. So that's important to have. I'll reconnect that later. I just wanted to show that as an example. So let's go ahead and move on to the controller. Now, the controller that you want to get, there's, here's a difference between using a controller and an Xbox controller. This is all about focusing and comfortability into your gameplay. Now, you could use a wireless controller. Now, we did talk about earlier in the video, or somewhere down the road, we talked about millisecond response time. Now, every time that you take a millisecond off, that's, what happened? Why didn't I shoot that guy? Why didn't I kill him? All these things that I'm telling you add up by the margins, killing people in the game. If you don't have this, if you're playing on a wireless connection and you got a wireless router and you have all this stuff that's not hardwired in, you are shaving off almost 1 to 2 seconds when you get ready to shoot somebody. So it's important to have everything you play in Call of Duty wired in, whether it be straight from your modem to your controller to your sound, everything. Take no chances on the wired in millisecond response time and your TV. So I don't use wireless controllers because of that, because of the fact that I lose millisecond response time, and the fact that when you're using, another issue that you might have that you might not know about is dealing with concave controllers. A lot of times when you are looking for that precision shot, a lot of people are using the edges to shoot because what happens is when you're using a concave controller, the when you move, it changes from in to out. Whereas if you're using a domed controller, where you're losing the dome controller, it never changes. You're just rolling off the top of the dome. You see the difference? When your finger dips in and then it goes onto a ledge, that's going to change that bounce move when you go to shoot somebody. So when you're just rolling, you can feel it and you don't have to worry about that tension switching from the concave to the edge of your controller. So it's important to have, you could have raised controllers with dome. I got this controller from Scuff Gaming. I will go into advanced hand controls when you play the game, but what we're covering right here is you want to have a wired controller, whether it be a brand new Xbox controller or a Scuff controller, whichever one you decide to choose. That's up to you. We'll cover that more as we go along into advanced gaming. But that is the first segment of advanced gaming. We will get into in our next segment. Well, I hope to see you in the next video where we cover whether you should play in 1080p, 720p, the difference between that in your television, how it changes the reticle and what you're viewing, the pixelization, the uh, the gameplay itself, which games you should play, how you should play, how you should select your weapons. Um, we're going to cover so much more from here until the end of this long, thorough, basic guide to advance to help you become a better player in Call of Duty. Until next time, it's your boy Fizz. Peace. I'm out.